Lee Jones here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by nAts after beating Fnatic, but obviously more importantly, qualifying for Masters Santiago. Um, Maybe I'll just start with the obvious one, nAts. Thoughts on the win? How are you feeling after qualifying?
I actually, I'm not, I'm even more happy not just from qualifying. There is two things. First of all, I finally break my curse with the 1 year qualifying, 1 year not qualifying. Second is I'm quite happy the way we play the game on the stage because I think in the whole my Valorant career, I never had such a feeling, and doesn't matter how the rest will go. I never had such a feeling to play the game like that on the stage, where you just watch the mini map, and in 10 seconds of the round, you literally on their spawn. It does look funny, not gonna lie.
hmm Yeah, so especially a couple like mini boos just like in their spawn before they've really left their spawn. It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I cannot imagine playing against that. I think it's too much.
Yeah, I can imagine. Um, I just wanted, well, maybe going from the first map. Obviously, Corrode was you guys come out and just sort of smashed them straight away. And I just spoke to Kayak, and he was saying that like one of the things they felt was that because they played like 3 days back to back, and obviously their game yesterday went for so long that they
Yeah.
were just like exhausted, and that was a big issue for them. So then, sort of given that, and then the fact that you guys come out and you do smash them on Corrode, were you a little bit surprised uh, that they did sort of fight back a little bit on Bind and Abyss, and that maybe it didn't sort of just escalate after Corrode?
I mean, not really. I also been asked the question, if we would lose Abyss, do I think we would lose the rest of the maps? I don't think we would, because as you said and as Kayak said, I mean that's natural. It's very hard to have to handle so many games in a row, especially hard games. And yesterday game, I think it went too much for them. They lost too much energy, and that's just I think that's experience and knowing that specifically, not about them, but I play already the
Mhm.
game too a lot, and I knew in what kind of shape they are. So even if the Abyss would go in a different way, I still had ideas how to make sure that they will be even more exhausted.
But like, especially speaking of like Abyss, and obviously like Bind, you were behind a little bit as well. But
Yeah.
it looked like you just couldn't lose. Like, did it just feel like it was not possible for you guys to lose today?
I mean, I had the same feeling, honestly. I mean, I think there is a ways to lose, but I think there is a lot of confidence, and but also I like the way they try to approach the anti against us, because I think both Heretics and Vitality, they couldn't do much. It was just it was just a game. It was quick bind, and I think Fnatic today they actually tried to approach in a different way some things. So it's a good learning experience for us for the Santiago.
Fair enough. Um, I have to ask you. I don't know if you know how much of it was been on the broadcast, but it showed your speech. I think it was for Corrode, talking about Boaster and sort of wanting to make him miserable playing the game. And it showed some of his clips as well, like standing up and giving you a few words on the next map as well. I think especially. Where does that little rivalry come from? Is that you sort of looking forward to playing against him specifically, or was that just the game plan of just try and rattle him?
I don't have any. I mean, I think we are respecting each other, and I respect every player who I play against, and I respect everyone who is working hard. And I think he's a hard-working person. But it's just, it's just sometimes funny when he plays against that comps, and I see that he sometimes doesn't have solutions. And but there is nothing personal, honestly.
Sure.
This game today, it was just a game.
hmm It just made me wonder as well. Like that was the first time we sort of seen you give one. Not I don't want to say like a personal one, because you say not personal, but rather than it like the usual kind of motivation, it felt like a slightly more of a different angle. I just wonder, was there anything similar like that then with playing against Team Heretics for Miniboo against his old team? Any of those sort of angles for that as well?
The thing is, I don't remember my speeches because I don't prepare them. I don't
hmm
think about them. I just speak about them in the moment, what I believe and what I think supposed to be said. And I just know that whatever I say, I believe in that things, and I don't feel bad about it. And I don't think I say anything bad there. And as I said, even today's one, it's nothing more personal, because I think everyone will agree, when you're on the stage and when you're fighting each other, you're not really a friend. You still respect each other, but you want to destroy. That's it.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Um, Wait, obviously that's got you to Santiago then, as we said. Um, Just have you been watching much of the other regions? Is just wondering if there's any teams that you specifically think could be tough.
Oh, I mean, I watched every region, honestly. I mean, I actually don't know in terms of which team I would like to face because every first seed is interesting. All gamers in China. Uh, who was it in Pacific? I forgot.
Nongshim, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, that was Noshim. In NA, it's Fourier, right? And in our region, is BBL. So I actually don't know, but for me, it's interesting how it will go in Santiago, especially for these first seats, how they will perform there. But there is nothing really about
Hmm.
someone specific I want to face there.
That's fair. Do you have any theory why basically all the regions ended up like that? There was a sort of a first seed that no one really expected, and then a lot of like the big established teams were fighting it in the middle bracket and the lower bracket, like you guys today. Why do you think that was?
I think there is a lot of different decisions. I'm not sure I'll be able to say, but if we're speaking about the teams who is already they have, so most of the teams who is usually performing good during a year, at the start of the year they're pretty weak because they're creating the system, they're adding the depth, and I'm not saying that the teams who qualify they don't have a depth, but it's too early into the season to speak about this kind of things.
Hmm.
And there is a potential of the less depth beating the stronger teams. So I think it's a lot about the preparation, and I think kickoff has always been the same thing. That the kickoff tournament is a lot of random things happens, and that's why I even know that some teams don't really take kickoff serious. They just try to play as many games possible to make sure they have time and energy to prepare for stage one, for stage two, because there is a lot also staying on that. People still want to qualify to Masters through the kickoff, but as experience shows, it's too random sometimes.
Fair. Maybe towards the end here, I just wanted to ask you about the off season really and the changes that your team has had coming into this year. Obviously, a few different changes, but I wanted to ask you specifically about Wayne in particular. Obviously, they had you out on the broadcast today, and you know, you had some very nice words for him. But we spoke to him earlier on in kickoff, and he explained how Lohan had reached out to him specifically, and it looked like just a very targeted player that you guys wanted from that. And I just wondered sort of how that happened. Obviously, Purple and Miniboo are established players in the region. So Wayne was sort of like from the outside looked like quite a random signing. So also to hear that Lohan sort of specifically picked him out was quite surprising. So I just wondered sort of what were the thoughts around Wayne coming in.
I mean, that's more question to the coaching staff because they were scouting and they did a good scouting, I would say. And since he is from a different region, it's very hard to trial him, right? Because there is a chance that the teams that in the region will take him. So that's why we just decided to take a risk, and for now the risk pays off.
Fair enough. I wonder if again maybe it's another question better for them as well. But what was the scenario regarding Kiko leaving? Was that something you guys were sort of aware was going to happen, and you were able to sort of work around?
I mean, I'm not sure we were aware or not. I mean, his contract is run out, and I think it was his decision.
Hmm.
So we didn't really know what he will decide. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like we are all players. We all have our own career. So his contract is over, and he decided to take that decision.
I don't know, fair enough. Well, I think that's all I had for you, Nat. So I'll let you go and have a bit of a rest,
Thank you
celebrate
so much.
qualification, and yeah, good luck,
Thank
Santiago.
you.
Thank you.